Fellow Scouter Jeremy asked me, Mark, what are the 3 things you've learned as a Scouter this year? Awesome question, Jeremy. And it got me thinking. 3 things? Well, it could be a long time for me to do this video, but what 3 things is he asking me in particular that I've learned over the year in 2024? In no particular order, the first one I would say is I've learned to say no. Well, in fact, it's okay to say no. Being a scout leader for 15 years or whatever it's been, I've been to lots of scouting events and you help people and people email you and say, Mark, can you come to my scout group and help with first aid or firelighting? Can you come and help at a district event? Can you help at a county event? And sometimes it can just get way too much. Then you have a family and family comes first, and you have work and work commitments and then scouts, and then you find that your whole diary is all booked up and there's no downtime for either yourself or you and your family. And this year I've really been trying to push myself to say no to some events, and just don't have to do all those events. As much as it's really cool to go to those scouting district events, you don't have to. One of the highlights in my scouting calendar is the district camping competition. And this year, I couldn't go for a major reason. And that's because that camping competition weekend fell on my son's birthday. And there's no way. I wasn't even considering it. I wasn't even going to ask the wife, could I go? It's a flat no. Years ago, I might have said, can I come down for an hour? Can I pop down for a little bit, half a day? This year, I'm not doing any of those popping down, come and say hello. What's the point? So it was a no for that event. And if you're a regular viewer to Big Man in the Woods, you know how much my heart Bush Scout means to me. I do loads of Bush Scout events. I've been with them for, 10 years or something, almost as long as being a scout leader. And I go to as many events as I can. But unfortunately this year, I was double booked. Harrow District asked me way in advance, can I come and run their firelighting base for them? And I said yes, even before looking at my diary. And then there was a Bush Scout London event, a skills day that I normally go to. I normally run a firelighting base as well. And I was like, man, where do I go? My heart's with Bush Scout, but Harrow District got in there first. They booked that event, and that's how I kind of work. So I had to say no to the Bush Scout event and yes to the Harrow District event. And that was really hard because I've got my team for Bush Scout, not depending on me, but they can do it without. But I'm really with them. But I also said yes to the Harrow, and do I let them down and get Bush? It was really difficult. And in the end, I just went back to basics. Who booked me first? Harrow District. So that's my top 1 thing of 2024, learning it's okay to say no. The other one, Jeremy, that I was thinking about is when scouts leave. I used to take it to heart. I used to think maybe it's me as a scout leader. Maybe they don't like me. Maybe I'm rubbish. Maybe the scout program is rubbish and it's not up to standards. And maybe we're doing too much boy stuff and not enough crafty stuff or not enough cooking. And I used to analyze it and just think, what? I used to ask those scouts and parents who left for feedback. Hardly any of them did. May get a little bit of feedback. And the only feedback I have got is when a whole lot of girls left. And I thought maybe the program is geared to boys. So I asked them and they said, no, it's just that their ballet class now clashes on a Thursday and they had to prioritize, and they chose ballet over scouting. That's the only feedback I got. So when scouts leave, whether that's just, they've been here for a few months or even a year or so, I used to really take it to heart, especially when that feedback never came back. And now I just think, you know what? Maybe it is, I'm a rubbish scout leader and they don't like the program, whatever. And also, the main thing is that scouts isn't for everyone. Yeah, as a scout leader, we might think scouting's the best, this is brilliant, this is amazing, I love it. But scouting generally isn't there for everyone. I look at my kids. I try to get my daughter Grace involved, and she is not an outdoorsy girl. She hates camping when we've been it. We went camping as a family holiday. She had a rubbish experience. She did not like it. She doesn't like getting dirty and muddy and that kind of thing out and about. So fine. Whereas Thomas, my son, is loving cubs. Beavers, now cubs, loving it. Just remember, scouts isn't for everyone. There's people that aren't outdoorsy or they don't like the things that we do. It's nothing against you. It's just that scouts isn't for them. And that's taken me all these years to work out. It's not a personal thing, Mark. Well, I hope not. And the last thing I've learned this year, Jeremy, is that Scouts UK is changing. Scouts America changed, wasn't it? It's not the Boy Scouts of America anymore. They've changed their title. And Scouts UK are changing different things as well. And as adults, some of us just don't like change. We have now got this new title. We're not a scout leader anymore. You know, taking time to earn the wood beads, 3 years, we're not a scout leader anymore. So am I going to hang these up and just be a team volunteer? Well, just accept it. It's just a name, isn't it? At the end of the day, I'm still a scout leader. Just because I'm not called a scout leader doesn't change what I do week to week, month to month at the scout group. Just accept it and move on. Life's too short to worry about a title. And also remember, a few months ago when we heard that Compass was going, it was closing down in November, December. This new software was coming. Everyone was so anti. Everyone was moaning. La, 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 la. The first week, oh, this isn't like Compass. La, 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 la. But now we've got it for a few more weeks. People are learning. People are adapting to it. Okay, it might take a few months to know where to click to add a new member on or click to find out where your training is. It will take time. And that's a hard thing, even as an adult, just kind of accepting these things have to change. Some things change for the good, some things change for the bad. But there are some things just not worth wasting your time arguing with. And that's what I've learned in 2024. There are things that you're going to win, some things you're not going to win. And with politics, you're never going to win it, are you? So the big thing I learned is, okay, I got quite upset when I heard this thing that we're not going to be called scout leaders anymore. But now I've just come to learn with the terms. Locally, in my group, in my district, I can call myself a scout leader. But just on paper, I'm a team volunteer. There you go, Jeremy. 3 things I've learned in 2024. I hope that's answered your question. And also, Jeremy, comment below what 3 things that you've learned. And if you're a fellow scout leader watching this as well, I would like to know what 3 things you've learned this year and maybe what you're going to change in the new year in 2025 as it's just around the corner. And one more thing, do me a favor, as a little Christmas present to myself, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next year. If you want to become a better scout leader, watch this playlist just here. It's got some tips and tricks on how you can become the best leader in 2025.